Previously in the anime, we saw that the research team who entered the dungeon were suddenly transported to the 40th floor out of nowhere, and there they encountered devils. Terrifying beings of the deeper floors who could butcher humans like livestock with ease, and when this news reached the surface, Natalie immediately rushed off to ask Rio for help. Meanwhile, Abel and his party along with the researchers were desperately fighting for their lives against the devils. When the mages finally exhausted all of their mana, Abel and his group took over. They managed to thin down the devils, but among them stood the devil prince who quickly pushed Abel to the brink of death, and just then Rio drops down like a ray of hope, and he decided to take on this baby demon lord himself. But now backtracking a little, when Natalie had first heard the news, she immediately set out to find Rio. He happened to be in the library at that time, so she had to run again until she finally found him. Upon hearing the situation, Rio instantly created an ice cart and rushed towards the dungeon, but there he ignored the guards who tried to stop him and made his way down. Since the group was stuck on the 40th floor, Rio made the shortcut himself and reached there directly, which brings us back to the present where Rio in an instant sliced off the devil prince's head. But unfortunately the battle was not over yet, as the devil regenerated, proving that a full-fledged demon lord would be far stronger than this prince. So this time Rio unleashed countless high-pressure water jets that tore through the prince's body repeatedly until it finally pierced its magic core, ending the fight in a clean and one-sided way. Abel was still alive thanks to Rio, and he expressed his gratitude, so Rio just asked for a dinner treat as thanks. In that case, Abel happily promised to treat him for an entire week, but soon after Arthur, the old man from the royal magician, stepped forward to personally thank Rio as well. Arthur then thought of focus on collecting the remains of the fallen, and Abel agreed and added that they should also gather the magic stones of the devils. And besides that, Rio recalled that when he dropped down earlier he sensed a strange magical field, so after using detection magic he confirmed that the aura was coming from something near the staircase. But first they focused on collecting the devil's black magic stones, which were being seen for the first time since no devil had ever been killed before. The researchers speculated that devils must have a connection to the mysterious gates which can manipulate space and time. And somewhere far away that same black gate appeared, and out of it stepped Leo. She felt the magic radiating from a black orb and was soon confronted by a man named Rowan who thought she was the demon lord. They all thought that touching the altar with black orb would summon the demon lord, so Leo first asked who he is. Rowan declared himself a hero who had come to defeat her, and Leo could not stop laughing at the ridiculous self-proclaimed hero title. Yet she decided to give him a chance. Unsurprisingly, he failed miserably, and still Leo doesn't want unnecessary bloodshed, so she spared them but warned everyone not to act foolishly. She took the black orb and said she's not the demon lord. The people could hardly believe it, as her power was overwhelming. In short, they are unwilling to admit their own weakness, so Leo mocked them further by telling them that a human stronger than her already exists, and his name was Rio. She described their battle as something incredible and challenged the so-called hero to grow stronger until he could at least match Rio. With those words she left. Meanwhile, Rio and his party had made their way up to the 11th floor, where they found the adventurers Hugh had sent for backup. There they also discovered the object that had been radiating the strange magical field. Sensing the dangerous mana, Arthur puts it in a mana concealing bag just to be safe. With that settled, the group made their way back to the surface. Abel continuously thanked Rio for everything, so Rio once again brushed it off and asked him instead to just reveal the location of the restaurant that served curry, and that would make them even. Then as they returned, Natalie met them along with Hugh, who was relieved that nothing had happened to Abel and his team. However, he scolded Rio for ignoring the guard's warning and entering the dungeon, so Arthur quickly defended him, saying that if not for Rio none of them would have survived. But speaking about this in public would cause problems, so Arthur requested a private conversation with Hugh. In private, Arthur explained everything in detail, including how Rio had killed the devil prince with a single move. It was far too overpowered, and if such information spread, the greedy aristocrats would do anything to drag Rio to their side. Understanding the danger, Hugh decided to exclude Rio from his official report, because the last thing they wanted was to make an enemy of such a monster. The following day, Rio was walking through an alley when the sweet and spicy aroma of curry led him to a restaurant. Inside he found Sarah already enjoying a plate of curry rice. This turned out to be the very same place Abel had been talking about. Rio ordered one for himself while Sarah happily ordered her second. She explained that elves naturally have high metabolism, so this is normal and she's not a gluttony. Then during their meal she asked Rio where he lived. He told her about staying in the guild dorms and mentioned that he had been promoted to rank D when he registered. Sarah admitted that she had always known Rio was strong even if others did not see him that way. But then Rio then asked why he had never seen her at the guild. Sarah revealed that she had a contract so she doesn't need to work like normal adventurers. In addition, she was also an instructor of the Night Order, so she invited Rio to spar with her. For that they went to the Knight's dueling grounds where Rio curiously asked how she had known. Sarah explained that Rio's posture and body language made it obvious that he was both a sword and magic user like her. Their battle turned out to be one of Rio's toughest since Leon R. Even Sarah was impressed, admitting that it had been a long time since anyone had lasted so long against her. She used wind magic to increase her mobility while Rio opened up about his master in training. This shocked Sarah, who had already guessed that the Fairy King had taken a liking to Rio since he had given him that robe. But he had even trained Rio was astonishing. After their spar she had to leave, but she asked her maid to escort Rio home, explaining that he was special to her, and the maid naturally misunderstood her meaning. Soon after, Hugh ran into Rio and revealed that he had decided on his punishment for disobeying orders. Rio would have to take an escort job outside of town, but the task was not going to be as simple as it sounds. And right there our episode ends, so stay tuned to watch the next one as well. And for that, subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon, or you might miss it.